Hi there, welcome to Floating in Dreams. Welcome to part 6 of my makeup collection. These are all of my single eye products. Welcome to everybody watching today. Thank you so very much for joining me. I am continuing my February series yet again with another part of my makeup collection. And normally when I declutter this part of my makeup collection, I actually do all the swatches in that video. But for some reason, I really feel that this has ballooned out of proportion quite a bit. So I think I want to do the swatches today so that we can have a look at all of these single eye products so that before I sit down to declutter this section of my makeup collection, that I have a really good grasp of things I want to keep, things I don't want to keep. As I already mentioned in a lot of these videos before, I have already done foundation, concealer, bronzer, blush, and highlight. I'm still going to do lips after this as well, so it's a full 7-part series here where we go through my entire makeup collection in preparation for the declutters, because I cannot swatch and declutter at the same time. If I do that, I just want to keep everything. So I always like to go through my makeup collection before I film declutters to already have a bit of an idea. And I was like, I can just take you guys for the ride. So that's where this video is going to come from. And I am filming this in advance, so a lot of these products I do have reviews up already as well. So I'll make sure to link any reviews that are available in the description box down below. And there may be some shopping links here and there as well for the products that are still available. So what are you looking at? Just so you know, these are all of the single shadows that are in a pan like this. This one is a bit messy because an eyeshadow that used to be in here exploded. So those are my single pan shadows. I have liquid shadows over here. These are some more liquids, pigments, and glitters. These are eyeliners. These are like my powder singles in a little pot. And then this is mainly like cream shadows, and these are all of my eyeliners and pencils, like pencil liners and eyeshadow sticks. That's what we're looking at here. So I'm just gonna run you through, do as many swatches as I can, and sort of make up my mind about the things I do love and the things I didn't really love. I think I'm gonna save the liquid liners for last because those are probably gonna stain the most. And I do want to film my lipstick collection after this, which is going to be absolutely atrocious. But let's start with the creams because those are in front. I put this in my end of year favorites for 2024. These are Trinny London's Eye to Eye. I got 4 shades. I did buy them one at the time over time. I didn't buy them in one go because these products are pricey. But this little stack of eyeshadows has been my go-to for travel. They are so handy to just throw into a makeup bag. And I love that these snap shots. So you actually know when you've close them properly. So here is the shade Mystery, which is a nice goldeny taupe. Here is Magician, which is more of like a cooler tone taupe. It's Chalice, which is a really nice, more smoky shade. And finally, here is Hekate, I never know how to say this. I know it's a character in Greek mythology, I do know that. But these were discontinued. These are the metallic eye to eyes. These are no longer around. And this is a really nice sort of like olivey, sparkly number. But these feel really dry, so I understand why these were discontinued. I do keep the foam pad in the packaging just to prevent it from drying out too much. And that's the shade I also use the least because I don't feel this really translates. Like this is what it looks like on a finger swatch, and then this is how it ends up on your lid. So it is sparkly, it is definitely pretty, but I don't think it adds much to these 3. So this is one I could probably do without. So I don't mind that that is discontinued, you could say. I have 2 of these Mina 24-hour cream shadows. These are really nice, but the blue one, I tried to use it the other day and it is sadly quite dry. I was able to revive it a little bit, but it's just so tough to work with. I mean, it's still pretty, but it's just a little dry. And you can tell when I swatch it. So this is definitely one where I'm like, This is why I want to swatch all these products before my declutter, actually, because I think especially with some of these cream shadows, it's not going to be that I don't like them. It's mainly going to be a problem of they have just dried up and I can no longer use them. Here is 963, which is a taupey number, which also looks pretty dry, but because I feel I've used this more, it's a lot more pliable than the blue one is. And these don't really have any sort of cover, save for that little plastic thing that doesn't really do much. But this one works better, and I really like this. It's a nice deepening up shade. I love it for a smoky eye. In a second, I'll have some more Colourpop Supershock, so I'll swatch all of those at the same time. I also have this REM Beauty thing that was discontinued. This is one of their metallic eye gels in Affirmation, and this is also something that dries up super quickly. I mean, it lost so much volume, but I was always able to sort of revive it. Oh, this still feels actually pretty good. It's just really, really shrunken in the pan. And what I've always loved doing with this shade in particular is that I love layering it over that Mina shade. So it's a little bit chunky, but it definitely still works, which I had not expected. Because when this came out so dry, I was sure that this REM Beauty thing would be super duper dry as well. And if I swatch it over, is there still enough on my finger? I don't think there's still enough left on my finger. But it looks really pretty over that deeper base of the Mina, so that's a favorite combo I have. Then technically these are actually highlighters, but they are so pigmented that I cannot use them on my face. They have too much of a base. They are the Space Age highlighters from Kaleidos, the Gifted and the Prophecy shade, and these I just use as eyeshadow instead. I tend to love using these if I like go to a party where the looks can be a little bit more out there. I always throw in these two. So here is Prophecy, which is like green, gold, and peach. And the other one is a bit more cool toned. And that's pink, purple, and like lavender blue. This one I use the most. I use the cooler toned one more than I do the warmer tone one. I have two of these Starshow shadow pots from Moira. These are really nice. I have since found out that what they're trying to dupe here is the Hourglass Scattered Lights. That's something I just bought, so I haven't been able to play with this. I don't remember the shades for these. This is Muse. Putting that one over here. And here is Eureka, which is like a silvery taupe. I think of the two, I like Eureka the best. Like this one on the left, that's my favorite one of the two. Here is the Holika Moonflash shadow. These were only around for a hot minute, so I do apologize if you missed out on these, because this, I mean, it looks very chunky in the pan and messy, and it kind of is, but this is such good eyeshadow. Like, this made me realize how good K-Beauty eyeshadow actually is, which I know K-Beauty has such a bad rep for not doing quality makeup, but a lot of it is just sheers, but when they want to do like sparkly things, they do that really well. So here's that Holika shadow. Next up is this H&M shadow. This is in Dauphine Truffle. This is really pretty, and it is a shade that I again use very often with one of my Colourpop Supershocks that I just use as a bit of a neutrally base. This is also a more smoky vibe, you could say. Shall I put it here next to the other smoky thing? But the Mina one is more gray leaning, and this is more brown leaning. And then these are Colourpop, but they're not Supershocks. These are the Jelly Much. I believe that's what they were called, and I think these have dried out. These dry out so quickly, so I only got them like one time just to try the formula, but I've never used these even on my lids. Ooh, look at that. I'm not sure if I can still swatch this. Oh no. Yeah, it still does work, but it's just so gloopy. Oh no. This was in a shade Drama Season. I don't remember what collection they were with. I think it was with the Troublemaker collection that these came in. But yeah, it is a pretty shade, but this one looks about as gloopy. What shade is this? This is Alt Kit. Really pretty shade, I'm sure, but oh, this is very dry. Still works. This is why I lay a towel down when I film videos like this, because this is just so messy. And I'll swatch that one over here. That one is also not that great in a swatch anymore. Do you see the difference? Like, this one feels so powdery. It just doesn't have the same impact anymore. But Drama Season still looks okay, just not in the pan. And then I have quite a few of these Colourpop Supershocks, because I like those, especially for travel. Now that I have the Trinny London ones, I tend to use mine a bit less. But these were the ones that were on top, because I always travel with these, and I still pack them. This is Ritz, the one with the paw print, and this is so Quiche. I have backups of these, because this is very low. It keeps like crumbling on that side because it's just so low down that the shadow has started to flake off. That little button in the middle is actually where I hit pan. So this is just a bit of a messy shade by now. So maybe I should just start using the backup and retire this one because it's just a bit, I'll pop it here. So Ritz is a sort of beige base. Oh, I now see that some of the sparkle is really, really dry. It's like stuck. This is what you get to on your lids. I think there's more of the base color left than the actual sparkle. So that may be something I have to retire. And here is So Quiche, and you can see the dent on that one. That's also becoming very, very low. And what I've just found with some of these Colourpop Supershocks is that the more you use them, the drier they get. So over time, like at first they go, like the fewer, like the lesser product is in your pan, the quicker they dry out. These I think came with the Lavish collection, but I haven't used them much. So these three here, I have So Surreal, which is this really pretty periwinkle shade. I mean, it is pretty. I've definitely swatched it, but I haven't used it much. Yeah, that's pretty. Social BB. Which I'll pop right there. And this last one is Angelic. Oh, that's very sheer. And then I actually have two here that I really enjoy, but I don't use them enough. But this is I Heart This, and this is Sailor. And I Heart This is like a more intense version of Ritz. Here's what that looks like. And Sailor has a really pretty flip to it. I'm not sure in the pan it's going to show up. These shades have a tendency to all look the same, but they do different things. So here is I Heart This, which again transfers better. Oh, why are these so dry? Maybe if I take a little bit more. Yeah, if I take a bit more, it's fine. So here's I Heart This and Sailor. But I do remember these like being this intense in a swatch. And then I have another favorite. This is Frog. And I still have Dance Party. Which I think Dance Party, like it's really pretty. But this is so old. So old. This is one of the first Supershocks I ever bought. It feels dry. But something tells me that this will be okay in a swatch. Like, see? It's a deeper shade as well. It has all this like really nice multi-dimensional sparkle. And Frog is another one of the shifty ones. It's like a really pale pink, but it has a lot of like blue and sort of green reflex running through it. And it's the shade I love to swatch over the H&M shade. So here is where Frog is at. It is a sheer base. And I think that may actually be why these also don't swatch super intensely, because they do have that sheer base as well. So I think that's why they just look a bit weaker, but they do blow up nicely. So those are all of my cream shadows that I have. Let me do glitters and liquid shadows next. I'm not going to swatch the glitters because these are all open containers, and the last time I used one of those products, it went all over my makeup desk. I was able to salvage most of it, but yeah, I'm just going to show you these. This is by JCat. This is in Mirror Ball. Here's what the shade looks like, and this is the one that exploded all over my vanity as I was trying to put the cap back on when I was using it. So, I have a Sydney Grace glitter with little stars in it, which is really pretty. I thought I had decluttered it, but it came in handy for one of my holiday looks. I have a pigment here from MAC. This is in the shade Vanilla, which is good to have, I guess. And then I have these two glitters from NYX. I have the red one and the teal one. I don't know if they still do these, actually. Does NYX still do glitters like that? I've had those for a very long time. And then I have these two pigments from Sydney Grace. These come with heaps of product. I don't remember what this one is called, but it has this really pretty sheen. And this is Firelight Glow. And I think what I just want to do, I still have plenty of empty pans because these are so big. I think I'm just going to press some of this into an actual pan. If you just use enough force, it will hold its shape. It will be fine. So if I just press these into empty pans and make it part of this collection, I think I'll get more use out of it than when I use them as this. So that's definitely going to be like a spin-off once I do my declutters. I do this a lot actually, where I always do some spin-off videos once I've decluttered, where I like rearrange certain things and especially things that need to go in here. Let's do these liquid shadows. They didn't quite fit into the cubby anymore because Catrice came out with these, and these were terrible. This is Very Violet from the Deep Matte Liquid Shadows. These crease so badly, even though the shades are really pretty. So that's a bit of a shame. I also have Cotton Candy, which is this really nice pastel-y dusty pink shade. And they also did Blue Breeze, which is this really pretty baby blue. So here is what those three Catrice shades look like. They were pretty, but they just don't do anything on the lids. They just don't work. I have this Armani liquid shadow, which I just haven't reached for. I bought this because I wanted to try more Giorgio Armani makeup, and I hadn't really tried much of the color stuff. So I bought shade 37 Scarab because I was looking for a good, like dark, deep green to use as a smoky base. And it would still work for that. I mean, it is still good to have it around for that reason, because it is really, really beautiful. And when you shear it out, some of that sheen that you see in the pan is actually much more noticeable, but it is very much a black and green, which is why I don't reach for it all that much. I have all 5 of these chromatic chrome on liquid shadows from Essence. Yes, they did multi-chrome liquid shadows way before anybody else did. These were a fluke though. They never really came to stores. I only was able to find these online. And they aren't the best, but because they have the fun shades, I do keep it around. But I believe a lot of these have actually gotten really dry. Like last year, the last time I swatched them, they were pretty dry already. This is Chrome Addict. I mean, they still work. And perhaps with a bit of Duraline, I might be able to revive these. And I do have Duraline somewhere over Baby, which is like green, pink, whatever. And what I've just found with this product is that when it shears out, you lose a lot of the flash. So whenever I do use a multi-chrome, it's something I already have in a palette, or I have a full multi-chrome palette from filled with Cliona shadows in here, which we'll get to in a sec. So something like this, I just feel doesn't do what I want a multi-chrome to do. This is Oh My Chrome, which is like blue to purple. Not all of these were super multi-chromy though. Yeah, this is very dry. Do you see that? I can barely get that to show up. And then I have Chromology, which is another like reddish green to gold. And this is dead. I mean, I can still sort of swatch it, but it's not as intense as the other ones for sure. And then I have Chromazing, which is like one of those beetle colors, like it's blue and purple or green and purple. This one I believe was also very dry, yes. This one is dead as well, but those are the Essence multi-chromes. I got this in a YESSTYLE box in PR. This is by Romand. It's one of their glitter eyeshadows. And that's one of the things I love about K-Beauty, like their glitter formulas are so good. I also have some glitter eye sticks from Alicia. But that is really nice. If you want, like the brush is small enough that it can act as a liner. So if you trace this over a black liner, I think it will be really pretty. I also have these liquid shadows from Essence. These were from the Vanilla collection that were out a couple of years ago. I got them super late, so I never reviewed them. But this is Vanilla Vibes only. And these are nice neutrally shades, but these are also quite dry, I believe. Oh no, this is still pretty good. It doesn't feel dry or flaky. But I don't reach for these a lot. And then this is Not So Basic Vanilla, which is shade 1, which is a bit lighter. These are very golden toned, so that's not my favorite. My favorite by Essence is this guy here in Shimmering Taupe. These are the Luminous Eye Tints. I didn't like the purple and the green. Those were trash, but this I loved. So let's swatch these 3 together so you can see why I didn't love the purple and the green. These were just really thin. They're almost watery, so when they shear out, there's hardly any pigment left. The purpley one is Glazed Candy Cloud, and the green one is Sparkly Jade. I was so happy when we got these, but you can already see with the green, like, there's hardly any pigment in that shade. So Shimmering Taupe, as you can see, like, you can see how much I've used it. Like, half this tube is gone. That's how much I love this thing to pieces. And that just has, you know, it just has so much more pigment and shine. So I don't know what happened, but this is the only shade from the line that I would really recommend. I have 2 of my Lisa Eldridge. This is Emily and Anais. Emily is the more neutrally one. So that's actually really similar to Shimmering Taupe. The only difference is that Shimmering Taupe is a true cool tone, and this has warmth and cool tones at the same time. And then Anais has a bit more of a green tone to it, but that's really pretty as well. It's more like a cocky gold, really pretty. I love my Glossier Lid Star in Fawn, which fits into that same category as the Lisa Eldridge and the Shimmering Taupe from Essence. This just has a purpley undertone. So purple, almost silvery, and this has a bit more gold to it. So I do feel they're different enough. This RMS Beauty Strobe Light, or Eye Light in Strobe. I always mess up the name of this one. This is really pretty. I'm not sure if it's still any good. Oh, it is. I haven't used this in a while. But this is, again, really similar. Need to press it in a little bit so you can see. But this is, again, a rendition of Taupe. I just love a good Taupe eyeshadow, especially in these kind of singles, because I tend to use them as one and dones. And the Essence one has been with me for traveling so many times. Maybe I should pick up a backup if they still do them, because Essence is probably going to redo their line around the time I'm filming this video, or maybe they already have. These are all Sydney Grace liquid shadows, and these are so pretty, but these tubes come with so much product that I just know I can never use them up. Let me see. This is Divinity, and with these you can see the shade on the back here. This seems to be another like taupey kind of goldeny shade, which we all know that's what I love. That's where my comfort zone lies. But that's pretty. I have this really nice purple. This is Awakening. This is the shade in there. So this is a really nice deeper purple. It's right there. This really nice bright purple. This is Euphoria. And I'm thinking, now that I'm looking at these, they're very similar to some of my Supershocks. So maybe I should just keep these liquid things and then declutter the Supershocks, because these I've had not as long. This is a nice like grayish blue. This is Are You Sure? I know I got this one in a mystery bag. I got the Sydney Grace mystery bags a few years in a row, because that's a great way to test a lot of their products and makes it a bit more worthwhile if you're in Europe. So that's what those 3 shades look like. I think they're really pretty. And here is what all of my liquid eyeshadows look like together. And then I have all of these singles left, so let me show you these ones. So these are all of my single shadows. I don't think you can see, but I'll hold them up closer to the camera so you can see the shades better. Some of these are still cream, some of them are more cream to powder, and these are all like special shades, you could say. Like, there's a reason why I have them as singles and I don't have them anywhere else in my collection. And as you could see from my cubbies, This is overflowing so terribly, but that's because I've been really interested in these kind of products in recent years. I didn't reach for these kind of products for such a long time. I would always go for a palette. But nowadays, if I just want to do like a really quick makeup look, this is what I reach for. So I've got some more Moira in here. These are officially cream shadows. These are their lucent cream shadows in Jupiter and Infinity. I do know the names of this one. This is Infinity. If I can get them to open. I don't love the packaging on these because they're so tough to open. But this is Infinity, and this here is Jupiter. So Infinity and Jupiter. So they have a sheer base. They're a bit like Colourpop Supershocks in a sense. That's the way I feel about them, but they're very dimensional and sparkly, but they have a more neutrally base. You've heard me rave about these Clavu Urban Pearlization shades for a while as well. These are stunning. These are K-Beauty. This is Lilac, Silver Lilac, and this is Glam Brown. So this is Silver Lilac, and this is Glam Brown. So that's what those two look like right there. Again, really, really nicely sparkly shades. That's what you'll see here a lot. It's a lot of sparkly shades. Something I just wanted to try. I actually did test out some of their eyeshadow palettes in December. This is by Isadora. They're a European-based makeup brand. They're based in Sweden. And I had never tried them before, but when I was in Sweden over the summertime, they had a pop-up discount store, and I picked this up. I don't know what the shade is called. This is Lavender Vibe. I haven't used it much. So I don't love this formula. It feels very sort of early 2000s in terms of formula, I find. So that's why I don't reach for this more often. But it is sort of like more of a satiny vibe, which is not really what I go for nowadays. Here we have my Burberry eyeshadow. I think they came out with a makeup line again, but this I got before they ever discontinued their makeup line. It has a huge dent because I love this shade so much. This is in Rosewood, and I always swatch it in that little indent. And here's the thing, like this I feel is so much better than the Isadora, even though it's also more of a satin. That used to be my favorite one and done shadow right there. I would use that all the time. I have this Charlotte Tilbury Pop Shot eyeshadow in Smoky Quartz, which looks like this. Really pretty. I did have one of the duochromy ones as well, but that wasn't that special compared to other duochromes and multichromes I already owned, so I got rid of that. So here is Smoky Quartz. I also still have a single pan in here. I didn't know I still had this, but this is Miter from V Cosmetics. So it comes in this little sachet. This was gifted to me, I think, by a subscriber who was like, I think you might like that shade. And it's this really, it's a really big pan, so that's why it's not in any of those palettes. But here's what that looks like. And I like it, but it's such a deep silver that I don't really reach for it. I do like a silver, but I like them to be a bit more vibrant. And this is just almost charcoal. I don't know. And it's not sparkly enough. Like, if I reach for singles like this, I want them to be that level of sparkly, and this just isn't quite it. Another one-off I have here is by M Cosmetics. This is their Cosmic Pearl Dewy Eyeshadow in Luna. I'm not sure if you can see it in the pan, but it's essentially a gold and silver at the same time. So that really intrigued me. I do have other shades like this. And this again feels very, very creamy. It feels more like a cream than a powder eyeshadow. So I'm very curious to see how this will hold up over time. You can see it has a pretty strong golden base in some lights, but then when the light hits it, it has that very nice cool toned silvery sheen. So when you apply this all over your lid, it's absolutely gorgeous. And I have this. This is from Blessed Moon Cosmetics, which is K-Beauty. This is the Like a Shadow in Black Swan. And I think, I'm not sure anymore if I got this for free as a gift with purchase on YESSTYLE or how I even got this. But this is really, really sparkly. Like K-Beauty pressed glitters. Like even if you don't like pressed glitters, the K-Beauty realm does them in a very special way, I find. So I'm going to put that here. But this has gotten a little bit dry. It doesn't swatch the way I remember it. but it has these really big, chunky glitters. I'm not sure if you can see. There it is. You can see a bit better. Hourglass Scattered Lights. This is pretty new to me. I haven't put this on my face yet as I'm filming because I only got it in Black Friday. And before you think, but Micah, Black Friday, wasn't that already at the end of November? Yes, but because the rest of my Black Friday order hadn't come in yet, I couldn't even like look at this and take pictures of it until like the start of January. So this was sitting in a drawer for 6 weeks before I could even take pictures of it. This is in the shade Smoke, and it's more of a rose gold, which I hadn't expected. Like in store, I was able to compare the shades they have. They were also warm tones. Like for a shade called Smoke, I don't find this very smoky. I would want there to be more gray to it, more like this. And then this is a new discovery for me in 2024. These are by Josie. I'm not sure if you can read the branding here. They're a Chinese beauty brand. I don't know the shade names of these. I just have numbers. This one is D114. And they are two slightly different formulas, I believe, because I just wanted to try some. And this is, again, really sparkly, really special, just sheer base, but then it has so much sparkle to it. Do you see that? I don't think you can tell very much. We had a lot of sun this morning, and now there's lots of clouds again. It's January as I'm filming this. And here we have MT112, which is more of like a straight up metallic, I would say. But these are really pretty, very sparkly. Here is where that other shade is. And they're just really, really pretty. And I'm running out of space on the back of my hand, so I'll just move on somewhere else. But these are both by Kiko. They are different formulas though. This is the Lasting Mousse, and this is the Color Lasting. This is in shade 8, this is in shade 7. Shade 8, here is shade 7. So one of them is a little bit more moussey. Ooh, oh no, we're good, we're good. I thought, it's no longer working, but it is. And the other one is a little bit more like a lighter silvery lilac shade. Now you can see here I have 5 of the Victoria Beckham lip lusters. 2 of them were sent to me in PR. The other 3 I did pay for with my own money, just so you know. The first one, where did it go? This one. This is the first one I got, and I think they saw my review of Mink and then contacted me and asked me if I wanted to try some more of their products, and they sent me my entire wish list, so that was very generous of them. And this is that sort of thing where I'm like, yeah, that's a really, really nice smoky shade. So I'm going to stick that one down there. That's Mink. And I think they sent me Onyx and Midnight, or I might have bought Midnight. I don't remember, but Onyx is like a really nice, like black and gray, I would call it. It's not a true black. But there is Onyx. I know for sure that I bought Velvet, which is like this goldeny, olivey kind of shade, which I do like from time to time. Midnight is their dark blue, which is the one here. So that's Velvet, and that's Midnight. And finally, in the Black Friday sales, I got myself Mirror, which is this silvery shade. I'm gonna put it right there. So we have all 5 of my Victoria Beckham lit lusters in one row. I feel like Mirror has the sheerest base of the 5. The rest all has a very noticeable base. And then we have all my Kiko water shadows. And I have some in the old packaging and some in the new packaging because they did reformulate these. The new ones, or the old ones, you can sometimes still find on their website. So these are sometimes still available, but not all of the shades are still there. I have 213. These only have numbers, I'm afraid. This is like a tealy green shade, which I'll pop right there. I have 201, which is this like rosy light pink. This is a lot lighter. than what it's sitting next to, so I hope it shows up. It's essentially my skin tone. This is a deeper taupe shade. This is 228, which is right there. And the light taupe, this one right here, is 227. So again, very light, but really pretty, and especially topped over the deeper taupe. It's really pretty. And this together with the Victoria Beckham is absolutely stunning as well. But they discontinued those, and they've reformulated because in the EU there were new regulations concerning pearls in makeup products. So a lot of brands had to reformulate, including Kiko. And now they do this. This is their new taupe shade, which is actually in between the ones from the old line, and these do have more noticeable sparkle, but these still, like, one of the things that I love about this formula is that it works wet or dry, and I just feel that they are a little bit more sophisticated now. This feels a bit more satin, and then it just has a bit of a sheen, whereas these have a little bit more sparkly. They feel a bit thinner, they are easier to work with, so that's why I like them a little bit better. And I also picked up shade 14, which is a mauvey tone. And I know not everybody loves the new formula better than the old one, but I think these work so much better than the old ones do. And then what they have released new in 2024 is the Water Shadow in Chrome. This is the Water Shadow in Chrome Tech shade number 3, which is a duochrome. It's blue purple, and these are even more sparkly. You can also feel it when you swatch these. Like, they just feel a touch grittier than the classic water shadows, and you can also see it in the swatch that there's a lot more sparkle. They have a little bit less of a base, I feel, to hold them together, but this is definitely great, like, topped over things, but you can definitely build it up in intensity to have it like go on fully opaque on your lids. These go on more opaque if you wet them. So if this is too sheer for your liking, know that you can make these more sparkly and more impactful if you wet your shadows. That's how they're designed to work. And that brings me to all of my pencil liners and eyeshadow sticks, which is a lot, but here I think I'm gonna minimize the amount of swatching I do because I just need to sort through it and see what I have, because this is just, it's gotten too much. I can't find anything anymore. I know you can't see everything, but here is some more Kiko. I decided to sort of sort it by brand. So I have Kiko eyeshadow sticks, Kiko eyeliners, Victoria Beckham eyeliners, Essence eyeliners, more eyeshadow sticks, some high-end eyeliners. These are K-Beauty glitter sticks, my NYX white thing. These are all Catrice, this is more NYX. These are Kaleidos multi-chromes, and I have one lonely Victoria Beckham eyeshadow stick in Shroom. This is new to me. I got it in the Black Friday sale. I'm not sure if you can see this very well because it doesn't seem to focus. But this is a really pretty sort of cooler toned rose gold sort of thing. So I do really enjoy that. So I would want to keep that. But with these, I really have to take a decision whether I even want to keep them because I already have so many from Kiko, and those are my favorite. Every single time I'm on the website placing an order, I'm always and forever trying to find more shades that I don't have. They discontinue shades all the time and then they bring back new ones that are only slightly differently. So I do need to go through these to see which ones are dried up and which ones I can no longer use because they do tend to dry up sometimes. But with these ones, I think I can get rid of most of these because I just don't reach for eyeshadow sticks that aren't Kiko. I mean, I think this Catrice one may actually be very similar to the Victoria Beckham one. It's just a bit lighter. So this needs to go to the bottom of the pile. This Wycon one is really pretty. I just got it to try the brand because I had never heard of them when I found them in Florence about a year and a half ago when I was there for a trip. Really pretty, but I have other Wycon products I like better. And I feel it's very similar to this Rare Beauty eyeshadow stick in Contentment. The thing with Rare Beauty is that everything is so incredibly warm toned. If it's a color product from their line, that I just don't love that side of the brand. Unless they start doing cool tones, I think I'm not going to look into their like eyeshadows and lip products and stuff like that. This is by Kruidvat. This is a green one. I mean, it's pretty, but I just bought it again to try the brand. And I have another one in this taupey shade. I mean, it's really pretty. That's actually really similar to the Victoria Beckham, but I already have the Victoria Beckham one right now. Mina 963. I also have this shade in a pot, so I don't probably need to keep both because this is the exact same shade. This is something that Mina does it a lot. Mina is a Spanish makeup brand, so also European at the drugstore, and they do really, really lovely things, and they have a tendency to do the same shade in different products across their line. So if you like a shade, you can just buy it in so many different formulas. These e.l.f. sticks, I don't even know why I still have these, because I did not like these. They are so sheer. They're just not that good. And I don't like the shades, so why do I still have them? Who knows? Beats me. Milk by NYX. I always like use it up until the point is gone and then I buy a new one, which I know you can sharpen these technically, but or melt them down, but it's such a pain. If I ever need a wide base, I have one. And then I have, these are technically also eyeshadow sticks. They are a bit smudgy and weird, but these are by Clio. They are the glittering eye stick, and these are the Unleasha Pretty Easy glitter sticks. These are stunning in the inner corner if you just want to amp up a look. So I have this purpley, pinky purple, like lavender pinky purple shade. Oh, this feels pretty dry, actually. Oh no, it warms up and it's fine. Not sure if you can see, it's right there. I need to be careful with, but it's a neutrally one. But the tip of this broke when it arrived, so I need to be very careful. But I do feel that one works better, probably because it broke off. There's no seal on it or anything. And then these Twinkle Eye Pops, again, nice shades. Good to have to complement eye looks, especially if you're on the go or you just want to do a quick touch up between like work and dinner. These are really, really pretty. And this is the other shade I have, which is a bit more pinky. Oh, this one is also broken. Because that's the thing with these, that they tend to break quite easily. These are more metallic though. I think I like the Unleasha ones a little bit better than I do the Clio. So these are like favorites, so I want to make sure those end up on top. These NYX eyeliners I bought and I've kept them around because I don't have anything else in this shade. And I just bought them because so many people rave about NYX's eyeliners. So I have this like lilac-y shade, which is pretty. If you want to brighten something up, it's pretty for that. And I have this yellow, but the cap on this doesn't stay put, so it's completely dead. Yeah. Because this cap just doesn't want to stay put. And it's one of their Epic Wear eyeliners, so it was slightly different. I have all these Catrice things, which now that I have discovered Kiko also for their eyeliners, I hardly ever reach for these anymore, but there are some really nice ones. I have, I'm not sure if these are still any good, but these were so good. The liquid metal gel pens, I have it in 4 shades. I have a gold, a silver, a khaki, and a brown. And you can see how much I've used the brown because there's hardly any writing left. Very curious to see if this is still any good. These were like twist up. You can twist them up on the end, and that's how you get it to show up. Oh, that's still very creamy. And that's one of my favorite ever brown eyeliners I've ever used. So those may actually be really good. The silver was always really pretty too. Again, you can just twist it up so you don't have to sharpen them. Really pretty still till this day. And I was always very afraid that these would dry out because I've had them for 8 years, 9, maybe even 10. Because these were discontinued a long time ago. Back when Catrice did everything liquid metal. And I have the gold one, which is also really pretty. It's just good to have silver and gold eyeliner, I think. So those may have to stay. And I just have a bunch of these like pastel-y, colorful things because they come out with these kohl kajols all the time in different shades. Do I ever use these? No. But I have a really good periwinkle one, so that's why I always keep this one, because it's one of the best periwinkle eyeliners I have. But I have a periwinkle eyeshadow base, eyeshadow stick in here, that I'm more likely to use. So I'm not sure if this needs to stay in the end. And I have this baby blue one that's pretty recent. I mean, it's pretty. I mean, this on the waterline instead of like a white, really pretty. And also this pink is really good for brightening up your eyes, if that's what you're looking to do. Like, you don't have to go with like a skin tone like product. So I do enjoy the shades of these. A very nice vibrant green, but that just doesn't look really good on my skin tone, I feel. Sometimes with these brighter colors, because I am so pale, I also have this issue with eyeshadow. They just sort of deepen and become warmer than they actually are. So that mint, I think, is really good. But then how similar is it to the other one I already owned? I think this one may just be a touch more blue. Yeah. And I like that one better. It also has a slightly better formula. So when I get to decluttering, I need to go through my Catrice eyeliners for sure and get rid of some. Kaleidos multi-chrome eyeliners. Some of these also broke on me, but they're pretty. I use them from time to time for when I want to do something a bit more special, but they are a bit wobbly. But this way I do have multi-chromes that aren't necessarily an eyeshadow, so it makes it much more precise. Oh, see, I told you these had broken, but I always just stick it back in and I try to be very careful when I use it, and then it works. So I have all 6 of these, by the way. I just got the entire collection. And the only thing I don't love about these, because they are twist up, you can't really very easily sharpen these. So they are a bit thick to do very detailed work with. That's the only downside with the Kaleidos ones. But these still feel very creamy, and they are just a bit more special. Do I reach for these all the time? No, I don't. And this is the purpley one that I actually wore to a work Christmas party. And then I have this whole host of Essence eyeliners, because Essence do really, really good eyeliners. Like, their eye and lip liner game is on point, let me tell you. I do have a black. That's the only black eyeliner I still have. It's another one of their twist up ones, which is really, really creamy. I think it's good to have a black eyeliner. I never use black eyeliner, but just in case, you know. I also have this one. This I love. It's a really, really nice dark gray. This I do wear from time to time. And I do have to say I like their twist up ones better than I do the ones you need to sharpen. They did this Meta Glow line that also came with lip products and a highlighter. So this is their version of like a sparkly multi-chrome eyeliner. They're pretty, but they're very sheer and they are very hard. So they don't really have payoff unless you warm them up on the back of your hand. I especially like this one. The pinky toned one is the prettiest of the two. That also has a sheer base. So in the inner corner or on the waterline, that looks pretty good to me. I have some green things in here. I mean, I've got 3. That's insane. This is one that you need to sharpen. It's this really nice aqua sort of shade, but I think it's too similar to other things I already have. And I have this long-lasting eyeshadow in this really nice foresty green. Really pretty, but I have a really stunning foresty green in my Kiko eyeliners, so I never reach for this. This is Stay and Play gel liner. This is different from them. So, oh, more Stay and Play in also a dark gray. Ooh, I do like dark gray more than I do black for eyeliner. I've got some blue things. Another one of their twist up ones in this really pretty navy blue. I don't think I have a navy eyeliner from Kiko, but I do have one in my Victoria Beckham lineup. This one, I don't think I love that. Their Kajal pencils are not the best, I feel. The ones you need to sharpen, but this is another Stay and Play. And that is really pretty. That's very much up my street. Have I used that though? I don't think I've ever used it. And then more of the long lasting, so another brown pencil. Because I was afraid the Catrice one I love so much was gonna dry out, I actually started buying loads of different brown pencils just to give it a whirl. And I have this really pretty purple right there. So also the Essence lineup, I think we can declutter. We can declutter. Then I have some higher end things here. I have a MAC eyeliner that is so old, but this is really pretty. But I think by now it may actually have run its course, because I feel one of the green tones I have from Victoria Beckham is very similar. This is by $19.99. It's Bara. It's a lot of people's favorite brown eyeliner, and it's a really, really nice dark brown. But again, I have a really nice dark brown in my Victoria Beckham liners. And then I have Lisa Eldridge, which I also love. This is the best dark green eyeliner of my life. And it's the one shade that Victoria Beckham doesn't do. So that's why I only have one Lisa Eldridge one, because I just love these ones so much. Let me just run you through what shades I have. I have Cocoa, that's the brown I love. I have Sea Gray, which is a really pretty gray shade. I have Fig, this is new. This was in the Black Friday sale when I picked it up. It's a really nice purple. I have Bordeaux, right? Yeah, that's what it's called. It's more of a reddish tone. I have Sequin Green, which is really pretty. But that's why I think I can get rid of the MAC one. And then I have Navy Noir, which is one of my favorites. And I have Smoky Quartz, which is a really good taupey shade. So these I would like to keep because I love them. Also, all of these are gonna stay when I declutter my makeup collection in the end. I got this really pretty light gray shade in number 18 from Kiko. This is so, so good. Another really good brightening up shade. I have this twist up one. This is the Unlimited Precision in a taupey shade, which I also like. And I do feel that some of the shades from Kiko are very similar to the ones I have from Victoria Beckham. I have their green. See, I do have another dark green. But the Lisa Eldridge one is almost black, and the Kiko is like more of a foresty one. So here, I just need to get rid of the shades I don't use. Here we have the brown from Kiko. I have their purple. Ooh, that's feeling a bit tough. That's feeling a bit tough. And I have a teal from them, which I've tried to sharpen, I can tell, but that didn't go very well. But that's pretty. Those are all very pretty. And then I just need to go through these to see if they're still okay. But I just know when I declutter that all of these Kiko eyeshadow sticks are going to stay because I love them. This is a bit of an odd one out. It was in a limited edition collection, but it has two sides. It has an eyeliner, and then it has a silvery one. That's really pretty. But that, I don't know if I would have to keep that. Like, if I look for one of my Kiko eyeshadow sticks, I just go for the black with the color on the end, because that's one of the things I like about them, is that they have the color that they are on the back. So it's super easy to find. I have had some of these for a very long time, but this seems to be quite new. This is shade 16, which I think is their matte gray. Yep, a matte gray. This is old and the lid is loose, so let's check that. So shade 19. Ooh. That feels very dry. Shade 59, this is one of the newer ones, so I still know that's okay. This is one of the newer ones in shade 15, which I think is also a matte, but in the taupe. They started doing more matte things, which are good if you want to use different bases. 39, this is also one of the newer ones, because I can tell by the packaging. This is old. This is number 17, sorry. Ooh, but that still works really well. The other one was a lot tougher to work with, the dark gray. 20 is pretty new, so that's gonna stay. This is another old one. This is 38, but it's a really pretty taupe, so can't say no to a taupe. This sagey green one is pretty new. Number 14 is pretty new. Number 9 is pretty new, and this is their like flesh colored one. So if you want to use that all over your lid to block your lids, really pretty, and it can be used in the lower lash line. This is the periwinkle one I talked about, but this is super old, so I'm not sure if this still works. Ooh, that's very creamy feeling. Ooh, yeah, see, so I can get rid of the other periwinkle thing. This is shade 46. I think this is the multi-chrome one. They did a multi-chrome eyeshadow stick, and that's still super creamy. It's also one of the newer ones I have. And then I have 48, which is a nice green, and this bright blue, 44. Ooh, still swatches really pretty as well. So that's a really good electric blue. Which brings me to the final cubby I have for you. And these are some liquid eyeliners. Oh, I still have an eyeshadow base in there. That shouldn't be in here. And then I have my potted gel liners. These pot liners are super old, but I used Black Track from MAC in a look that I did around Christmas time. And you know what? This isn't funky smelling. It still works perfectly, even though this is one of the oldest makeup products I possibly have. I also have Dark Diversion, which is a burgundy. Still works fine as well. And I have Dip Down, which is their brown gel liner, which is also still really good to go. Like, these haven't expired, and I bought these when gel liner was all the rage. This I need to check, because this is the Bobbi Brown in the dark green. And I'm thinking, because I have that dark green Armani shadow I showed you. Oh, this is still fine. See, if I want a dark green, blackened green base, I just need to use this. This is in Ivy. I have it, and I've had it for a long time, and it's still fine. So why do I not use it more often? So I have this black one from Heroine Make. This is a K-Beauty brand. This was sent to me in PR. I never use black liquid liner, but sometimes it's good to have black liquid liner, and this is super black and it works really well. So I want to keep that one. I also have some Essence eyeliners. If I go liquid liner, I tend to go Essence. This is a waterproof eyeliner. Oh, that I can't really draw a very fine line with. So that may have run its course in the end. This is the brown one. Pretty. Brown liner works better for me than black. Black is a bit too harsh against my skin sometimes. And that's the other one. And then, you know, the K-Beauty one is just so much finer. So that's why I definitely want to keep that around when the time comes. These are also Essence. They're the Crystal Crush eyeliners. Not sure if these are any good, so I just need to give them a quick swatch. Ooh, they're still okay. They have like a really deep base, but then they have a lot of sparkle running through it. But these are getting a little chunky, and I haven't used them in forever. That's the green. So there's a blue and a green. They only did these for a hot minute. But these are the kind of products where I'm like afraid to declutter them, because what if I get the urge to use something like this and then I no longer own it? This baby blue eyeliner from Catrice. Ooh, that actually works quite well. But Kiko doesn't just make my favorite pencil liners, they also make my favorite pen eyeliners. So these are all eyeliner pens. The only thing you need to know about these is that they do dry up when you're using them. So one eye is always a bit more smooth than the other. Let's see if they are still good to go. Oh, the brown feels a bit dried up. And I think the navy and the purple were the last ones I got, so that's why those work better. I do have a black from them as well. That's still pretty new too. And then I have the green, which is also still fine. So it's really only the brown here that doesn't do much. I do have a green eyeliner from L'Oreal. What shade is this in again? I don't remember. But this is one of those potted, dippy sort of things. It's really pretty, but it's pretty deep for me, so I'm not sure if I should keep that around. I can't remember the last time I ever reached for that. And then I have these from What's Up Beauty that were sent to me. One of them is their black. That's this one. Ooh, that's really gloopy for me. Like really thick and gloopy. I could never work with that. I do really enjoy the packaging though. It came out with their lipstick range as well. And they do a multi-chrome one. I hope that one's a bit better. See, and that is really pretty. And that brings me to this stack of things. And I just need to go through this to see if what's in here, because I haven't used these single shadows in forever. I literally cannot tell you the last time I used some of these single shadows, which pains me because I have so many wonderful things in here that I know I don't want to get rid of it per se, but maybe if I curate it in my declutter and narrow it down, I might be feeling better about using these again. Because single shadows just aren't really something I reach for all the time. These are all Sydney Grace, I think. Most of these came to me in a mystery bag the last time I got a mystery bag, but this was sent to me by subscribers. I had a shade in there from Glam Shop, but it cracked. I repressed it, and then the first time after repressing it, I opened this palette and it had exploded everywhere. So I still need to clean this up as well because it's all stuck to the magnet here and stuck to this other eyeshadow, but I just put a placeholder in its place for now. But these still need to be dispersed over these other palettes, and as you will see, I have no more space. But this one is super special, by the way. It's Wondrous Night. I really need to give this a swatch for you. It's so pretty. Like, Esther knows me so well. This is exactly up my street. It's like one of the best taupe shimmers ever. Next up, we have this Colourpop palette. This is filled with all of my matte singles. And I think what I have to do, if there's any mattes in this that I would like to keep, some of this may have to go. I have MAC in here. These are the Potted Natasha Denona singles. I have Sydney Grace in here. That's what I have mostly. I think this is still a Makeup Geek shade. Like, some of these go way back. But I liked having all of my matte neutrals in one place. It just worked so much better for my brain when I was like putting these, when I was ever using these. Then I sort of have my subtle shimmers in one palette. As you can see, I like taupe and mauve because that's usually what we have here. Same thing here, some Natasha Denona. That's the square pen right here, but also a lot of Sydney Grace in here. I mean, that's Sydney Grace, I'm pretty sure. This is Sydney Grace, this is Sydney Grace. I think these are Makeup Geek, actually. Or maybe they are repressed things as well. Like, this is completely MacGyvered. Like, there are so many random shades in here. This is my Inglot palette. Do I ever reach for my Inglot palette? No, but it has beautiful pastels in. And even though this is like 15 years old, it's still good to go because they're powders. They don't expire as quickly as creams or liquids do. So I can still use it, and I still like these shades, so might as well use that at some point. And then I have all of my very sparkly, more intense shimmers. And I feel this needs especially a clear out. Not because I don't like these shades. I mean, there's so many beautiful things in here. So many beautiful things. Oh, there's also Cleona in the other palette, I now realize. So many beautiful things. But there's just a lot in here that I look at and then I'm like, I don't think I like that shade. I mean, I know this is repressed from a Pat McGrath palette, but now that it's in here, I'm like, I don't think I would reach for you again. So maybe take some of the more sparkly things from this and put it in here. Not sure yet. I have a green palette because color stories. This isn't full yet, but it is my intention. Maybe in 2025, I might actually bite the bullet. I did a quick calculation. I can fit another 13 Cleona singles in here. I can fit another row of 6 here, another row of 3 here, and then I can fit like 3 or 4 tilted to the side, if I'm not mistaken, because it doesn't fit 2 more rows next to each other. So I can't fit another row here. I'm gonna have to shift them because they're not square, they're rectangular. Because these pans aren't square, of course, they're rectangular, so I know that there's not enough space for 2 more rows here. So I'm gonna have to figure that out, but I did a quick calculation, and as far as I know, I could either do like 5, like tilted to the side, like in 2 rows here, and then 3 more here, or I could do like 6 here, 3 here, and then like push some more here. I measured it out at some point, so I knew how many I could still do. But these are all Clionadh stained glass multichromes. And these are my favorite multichromes. So, still want to fill the rest of that. I have a purple palette. Love the look of this. Again, loads of different things in here. I think there are some Luxie Beauty thrown into the mix. As I mentioned, loads and loads of Sydney Grays, because that's what I really invested in when I really got into these singles. And then there's just old things like MAC and Makeup Geek in here. My blue palette, because blue, greens, and purples are my favorite colorful shades. This palette keeps falling apart, but these are all of my Lethal singles. I used to have them in separate palettes, but I decided to put them into this bigger, larger one. And they fit in here, but they kind of, like, if you take one out, you can't put it back in, because they kind of need to slot in like this. So it's a bit of a mess. I need a bigger palette for this, I think. And then in this big number, I have a lot of my other like really sparkly shades. I know there's Divina in here, Terra Moons, Glam Shop. I don't remember what these bright things are. But yeah, there's just, these are like other things. I think these may be Colourpop, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, Divina is in here, Terra Moons, Touch of Glam. These sparkly things I know are Glam Shop. But this is also filled to the brim, so, and I have no more palettes left to, like, I have another one of these, but I don't have any bigger palettes, so I'm gonna have to give it a rejig and work these shades into the rest of the palette somehow, and then take shades out when I declutter. That's sort of the aim. But yeah, I just wanted to show you what was in there. So these were all of my single eye products that I just quickly wanted to breeze through with you. I don't think it was that quick. I sat here for more than an hour to film it, but I think there was a lot of pausing with like closing packaging and stuff. So I think if I edit it down, it's probably not going to take as long because I swatched so much of this, which is really something that needed to happen. Next up is going to be lips, which is going to be my final video in this series. But if you subscribe, then you will know exactly when my declutters go up, because then we will actually decide what to get rid of and what not. I now have a good idea, so this is always really helpful for my brain. But this way I can like let it cook a little bit, you know? And that way I don't have to take my decisions super duper quickly. So yeah, thank you so very much for joining me here today. Thumbs up this video if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more by me. I make several videos every single week, so I hope you like to stay tuned for more. And subscribe, as I mentioned, because we have lots more content coming to this channel very, very soon. So hope to see you then. Take care for now, and then I hope to see you in my next one. Bye-bye.